Chosen one, in this very moment you are invited to pause, to breathe, and to truly listen. Heaven itself has orchestrated this divine interruption. Do not mistake this for coincidence, for the stillness you now feel is no accident. It is the very hand of God reaching into your life, stopping the noise that has filled your days just long enough for you to hear what He has to say. This moment has been set aside for you, and the message that you are about to receive is divinely timed. Heaven has pressed pause on the rush of your life to bring you into alignment with a purpose far greater than you could have imagined. This is not just another passing moment, this is your moment, and it is filled with sacred purpose. In a world that constantly pushes you to keep moving, to hustle, to achieve, to chase after what seems just out of reach, it can be so easy to overlook the quiet moments, the pauses in between. But what if I told you that it is in these pauses, in these divine interruptions, that your destiny is being shaped? What if the stillness is not a sign of emptiness, but of preparation? Right now, as the noise around you quiets, heaven is speaking directly to you. The distractions, the pressures, the constant demands of the world are being set aside so that you can hear the whisper of God's voice. This is a sacred moment of divine connection, a time to listen, to reflect, and to realign your heart with the purpose that God has set before you. This is the moment you've been waiting for. The storms in your life, the struggles, the confusion, they are not random, and they are not punishments. They are divine preparation. The path you have walked, filled with its ups and downs, its unexpected turns, has all been leading to this very point. Heaven has not forgotten you. Even when you felt overlooked, even when the doors you knocked on remained closed, even when you struggled to understand why things weren't happening the way you thought they should, it was all a part of God's perfect plan. This pause, this moment of divine interruption, is God's invitation to you to stop, to listen, and to trust. For too long, you may have been running, chasing after goals, desires, and dreams that seemed important at the time, but now feel empty. You've been reaching for things that glitter but don't glow, seeking promises that were never yours to claim. But in this sacred moment, God is telling you to stop, to take a breath, to let go of the chase, and allow yourself to hear His voice more clearly. He is inviting you to stop striving, stop running, and stop trying to do everything on your own. This is not a time to push forward in your own strength, but to rest in the assurance that He is guiding you. The pause is not punishment, but mercy. This interruption is not just a random event. It is a divine calling. The voice of God, though quiet, has been whispering to your spirit for some time now. You've felt it perhaps as a nudge, a feeling deep in your soul that something isn't quite right. Maybe you've been questioning your choices, feeling torn between what you want and what you know you're called to do. Heaven has been trying to get your attention, and now in this moment of stillness, He has your full attention. The noise of life, the distractions, the pressures, they've been turned down just enough for you to hear what He's been saying all along. And as you listen, as you stop for just a moment, you'll begin to realize that this interruption is not a roadblock, it is a signpost. It's not a dead end, but a divine redirection. What if everything that has happened in your life, both the good and the challenging, has led you to this moment of surrender? The storm you feel brewing in your life is not meant to tear you apart. It is meant to awaken you, It is meant to bring you to a place of greater understanding, greater clarity, and a deeper connection with the divine purpose that has been written into your life since the beginning. God is not asking you to keep running in the wrong direction, but to stop, to recalibrate, and to step into the destiny He has for you. The divine purpose of this pause is to prepare you for what is to come. It is an invitation to let go of what no longer serves you, to shed the things that have been holding you back, and to embrace the clarity and peace that come when you align yourself with God's will. This is not a time to fight against the silence or the stillness. It is a time to surrender to trust and to move forward in faith. So, chosen one, take this moment seriously. Do not rush past it. Do not let the urgency of life pull you back into the noise. Right now, heaven has stopped everything around you so you can hear what God is saying. This is the moment that will change everything, the moment that will set you on a new path, a path of obedience, surrender, and divine purpose. You were not meant to scroll past this message, nor were you meant to hear it by accident. Heaven has been preparing you for this sacred interruption. Embrace it, listen carefully, and let it guide you into the next chapter of your journey. This is where your story truly begins. For far too long, you chosen one have been running toward goals that glitter with the promise of success, but fail to glow with true meaning. You've chased after things thinking they would bring fulfillment, yet they've left you feeling empty and unfulfilled. Your steps, though swift and determined, have carried you into a place where success feels hollow, and every achievement seems to only magnify the yearning in your heart that nothing can satisfy. The truth is, you've been striving for things that were never meant for you to hold. The world around you has taught you to push harder, to never stop to chase after what you want until you get it, regardless of the cost, the pressures of life. Society's expectations, the demands of your career, the need to prove yourself have pushed you further and further, and somewhere along the way you lost sight of the whispers of your soul. You became so immersed in the noise of striving that you stopped hearing the voice that was always there, calling you back to something deeper, something truer. You've tried to convince yourself that it's all worth it. The long hours, the sleepless nights, the sacrifices of peace and connection with those who matter most. But now, in this moment of divine pause, heaven is calling you to stop. You've been running at full speed towards something that will ultimately leave you disappointed, and God in His mercy is calling you to a halt before you make a critical mistake. You may not fully realize it yet, but the things you've been striving for, whether they are external achievements, accolades, or validations from the world, are fleeting. These are the goals that give the illusion of fulfillment, but they do not fill the void within your heart. They cannot anchor you in the way that true purpose and alignment with your divine calling can. The success you've been chasing, while seemingly important, is often an illusion, a mirage that fades as soon as you reach it, leaving you yearning for something more. In this sacred moment, God is asking you to stop, to pause long enough to recognize that your pursuits have led you down a road that will not sustain you. The desires you've been chasing are not bad in and of themselves, but they are not aligned with the purpose that God has written for you. They have become distractions, leading you further away from the true calling on your life. God's interruption, though seemingly disruptive, is a divine act of mercy. He is pressing pause on the chaos of your life so that you can hear the still small voice that has been whispering to your heart all along. This pause is not a punishment. This is not God withholding something from you out of anger or frustration. It is instead an act of love, a divine intervention to prevent you from stepping into something that could ultimately derail your purpose. You see, the enemy does not always come as a force of hatred or destruction. Often he comes as comfort opportunity or acceptance. He disguises himself as something that feels good in the moment, but leads you further from the path that God has set before you. For too long, you've ignored the gentle nudge, the whisper in your spirit that said, "Not that way, don't take that step." You've been caught up in the pursuit of things that promise happiness, but deliver only temporary satisfaction. But now, in the quiet of this moment, heaven is raising its tone. The whisper of the Spirit has become a thunder in your soul, urging you to stop before you walk into something that could cost you more than time. It could cost you alignment with your divine destiny. God is pressing pause not because He is punishing you, but because He is preserving you. He sees what you cannot yet see. He knows what lies ahead, and He knows that this moment of stillness is critical for your future. The choices you are making today will shape the rest of your life, and God, in His infinite love, is intervening to make sure that you don't miss the opportunity to step into your true calling. The pause is not just a delay, it is a redirection. In this pause, God is inviting you to recalibrate, to realign your heart with His will. He is calling you to let go of what you thought was important and to embrace what He has destined for you. The distractions, the noise, the relentless pursuit of things that ultimately leave you unfulfilled, God is calling you to surrender them all. This is a sacred opportunity for you to step back, to reassess your life, and to recognize that what you've been chasing is not in alignment with your true purpose. The storm you feel brewing around you is not a punishment. It is, in fact, God's mercy at work. We often think of storms as destructive forces that tear through our lives. But in the spiritual realm, storms can be a means of purification. They are a way for God to strip away the things that are not meant to stay in our lives. The storm you are sensing is not meant to destroy you, but to awaken you to a higher calling, to a deeper relationship with God, and to a life of greater purpose. This storm is an invitation to face what you've been avoiding. It's a call to confront the areas of your life where you've been compromising, where you've been holding on to things that are not meant for you. The discomfort you feel, the restlessness, the unease is not random. It is the hand of God urging you to stop pretending that everything is fine when deep inside you know something is off. You know that the path you're on is leading you further from the peace and purpose that God has planned for you. God is not allowing this storm to destroy you. He is allowing it to prepare you. Every storm serves a purpose, and this one is no different. The turbulence you feel is a reminder that you cannot continue on the path you've been walking without consequences. God's mercy is in the storm. He is shaking the foundations of your life to expose what is weak, what is built on sand, and to help you build something stronger, something that will withstand the tests to come. The divine interruption you are experiencing is meant to bring clarity. It is meant to open your eyes to the things that are not serving you and to draw you closer to the heart of God. It is not easy to face the storm, but it is necessary. In the midst of the turbulence, God is revealing what needs to go and what needs to remain. The things you've held on to tightly, out of fear, out of pride, out of insecurity, God is inviting you to release them. He is calling you to surrender the things that have kept you from moving forward in His plan for your life. The storm is not about destruction. It is about refinement. It is about purification. And it is about alignment. You are not being punished for past mistakes. You are being prepared for the greatness that lies ahead. The storm is a mercy disguised as a warning, an invitation to stop to reflect and to realign with the divine purpose that has always been waiting for you. As you stand in the midst of this divine pause, this sacred interruption, know that heaven is not distant. Heaven is actively working on your behalf. The storm you feel is not the end. It is only the beginning of your awakening. God is not letting you drift further into the distractions of this world. He is pulling you back to safety, back to alignment with His will. This is your turning point. This is your moment of divine redirection. Now is the time to stop to listen and to surrender. The storm is not meant to destroy you. It is meant to awaken you to the truth of who you are and the divine purpose you were always meant to fulfill. And once you embrace this pause, once you accept the invitation to realign, you will begin to see the path ahead with clarity. You will move forward with a renewed sense of purpose and divine confidence, knowing that God has been with you every step of the way. As the chosen one pauses in this moment of divine interruption, it is time to reflect on the past, the events, the closed doors, the rejections, the moments when you felt overlooked, misunderstood, or even abandoned have all been part of a greater plan. The pain you've carried, the frustration of missed opportunities, the confusion about why things didn't work out as you thought they should has often felt like a burden. But in the stillness of this divine pause, heaven is inviting you to see those moments through a different lens. What if every rejection you experienced was not a punishment, but a form of divine protection? What if every door that seemed to close was actually God's way of keeping you from something far worse? The truth is, many of the things you've prayed for and longed to achieve were not in alignment with the path God has set for you. And while it may have been painful in the moment, every rejection, every delay, and every closed door has been God's way of steering you towards something better, something more aligned with your true purpose. The struggles and setbacks you faced have not been in vain. They were part of the process of preparing you for what God has in store. You may have asked yourself, why didn't that opportunity work out? Why did that relationship fall apart? Why did that dream feel so close only to slip away? These questions, though natural, are rooted in a limited understanding of God's timing and purpose. From the perspective of our human experience, rejection feels like failure and delays feel like punishment. But from the perspective of heaven, rejection is often protection and delays are simply divine pauses, moments in time when God is realigning us with our true purpose. Take a moment now to recognize that every rejection, every delay, and every no you've received has been God's hand on your life, preserving you for something greater. God's divine intervention is not always obvious in the moment. It doesn't always come in the form we expect or desire, and sometimes it feels uncomfortable, even painful. But the very discomfort you've been feeling is evidence of God's love and protection. He loves you too much to let you walk down paths that would lead to destruction. He loves you too much to let you settle for anything less than the fullness of your divine calling. When you reflect on the times you've been disappointed or when things didn't go according to your plans, remember that God's love is not only active in the moments of blessing and success. His love is active in the moments of disappointment too. It is in those moments that He redirects your steps, closes doors, and prevents you from stepping into situations that would ultimately derail your destiny. Just because a door closed doesn't mean God has abandoned you. On the contrary, it means that He is protecting you. Every no has been an invitation to something better. Every delay is a moment of divine redirection. God's love for you is so great that He will not let you settle for a life that is less than the one He has designed for you. His intervention is not just to protect you from harm, but to ensure that you are always on the path that leads to your highest good. It is important to understand that God's love does not always feel comfortable, at least not in the way we typically expect. The love of God is not passive, it is active and protective. There are times when His love will feel like a force pushing against you, preventing you from moving forward in ways that might seem right to you in the moment, but are not in alignment with His greater purpose. God's love is not here to placate us or give us what we want when we want it. His love is here to mold us, shape us, and guide us toward the best version of ourselves, the version that fulfills His purpose for our lives. When you experience discomfort, confusion, or even resistance in your life, it is not a sign of abandonment. It is a sign of God's protective love. Think of a parent who prevents their child from running into danger even when the child doesn't understand why. The child may be upset, frustrated, or even angry, but the parent knows that the path ahead is harmful and that the child is not yet ready to walk down it. In the same way, God's love prevents us from stepping into situations that we are not yet equipped to handle. His intervention, though it may feel uncomfortable in the moment, is always for our greater good. The storms and struggles you've faced have not been for nothing. They have been the means by which God has refined your character, strengthened your faith, and preserved you for what is to come. When you look back on the moments of rejection, the closed doors, and the delays, you will see that they were part of a divine strategy to protect you. God's love has shielded you from decisions that would have led to pain and disappointment. He has kept you on course, even when it felt like you were losing your way. Now, as you stand in the midst of this divine pause, it is time to recognize that you are being realigned with your true purpose. Every delay, every rejection, every closed door has been part of God's plan to bring you back to the place where you can receive the fullness of His blessing. You are not standing in this moment by accident. You are standing because God has been protecting you, preserving you, and guiding you through every storm and every setback. Alignment with your destiny is not something that happens by chance. It is a process that requires patience, trust, and surrender. As you look back on the struggles and delays you faced, you may be able to see how each moment has brought you closer to the person you were meant to become. The pain, the heartache, the confusion, they were all part of the journey that led you to this very point where you are ready to embrace the divine purpose that God has for you. God's love is not just about providing comfort, it is about guiding you into the fullness of your calling. He loves you too much to let you settle for anything less than the life He has planned for you. And while that life may not always be easy or free from struggle, it will always be filled with purpose. His love has protected you from paths that would have led you astray. And now, as you align yourself with His will, you are stepping into a future that is greater than you ever imagined. In moments of confusion and uncertainty, when the path ahead seems unclear, know that God's love is still guiding you. You may not always understand why things are happening the way they are, but trust that His love is constant, unwavering, and unchanging. Even when the road is rough, even when the winds of life blow against you, God's love will always lead you to safety. His divine protection surrounds you, and His guiding hand will never leave you. As you reflect on the past, on the closed doors, the rejections, and the delays, remember that every one of those moments has been a sign of God's love and intervention in your life. The delays were not punishment, they were preservation. The rejections were not failures, they were divine redirections. And now, as you stand at this sacred pause, know that God is guiding you into the next chapter of your story. This is your moment to trust in His love, to surrender your plans, and to align yourself with the destiny He has already prepared for you. God's love is not a passive force. It is active, protective, and guiding. And as you embrace this moment of divine intervention, you will begin to see that every step you've taken, whether forward or backward, has been leading you to this place of alignment with your true purpose. The road ahead may not always be easy, but it will always be filled with God's love and protection. Trust in His plan, trust in His timing, and know that you are being guided towards something greater than you can yet comprehend. God is with you. You are not alone. Now, as you stand in the stillness of this divine moment, the time has come for a profound invitation, the invitation to surrender. For too long, you have been striving, trying to make things happen on your own, pushing against doors that have refused to open. The world has taught you to work harder, to hustle, to perform, to prove yourself. But in this sacred pause, God is asking you to stop striving, to stop performing, to stop seeking approval from the world and those around you. Because in this moment, God wants you to understand something incredibly important. You are already loved unconditionally. This invitation to surrender is not a call to weakness. It is not a sign of failure or defeat. It is, in fact, the most powerful step you can take. When you surrender, you release the weight of trying to control outcomes, and you entrust your life into the hands of the one who has always had a perfect plan for you. It is in surrender that you find true strength, not in pushing harder, but in resting in the assurance that God's will is unfolding, even when it doesn't look the way you expect. For so long, you may have believed that you needed to earn love and validation, that you had to prove yourself worthy of God's blessings. But the truth is, you are already worthy, not because of anything you've done, but because of who you are in Christ. You are chosen. You are beloved. And God is calling you to stop fighting for approval and instead embrace the truth that His love is already covering you. There is no need to earn it. There is no need to strive. In this moment of divine intervention, God is telling you to stop trying to prove your worth, for you are already accepted. Surrendering is often viewed as a difficult or even frightening act, particularly in a world that values independence, self-reliance, and achievement. It can feel counterintuitive to let go when the world tells you to hold on tighter, to push harder, to never give up. But in God's economy, surrender is not weakness, it is strength. It is the act of recognizing that you cannot carry the weight of life's burdens on your own and that you were never meant to. When you surrender, you align yourself with God's will, and in doing so, you open yourself up to the peace that comes from trusting that He is in control. The struggle you've been carrying, the weight of uncertainty, fear, and the constant pressure to keep moving forward was never meant to be yours to bear alone. God's invitation to surrender is not a demand, it is a gift. It is an invitation to stop trying to force the pieces of your life into place and instead trust in God's perfect timing and wisdom. The plans you've been trying to push forward, the goals you've been chasing, may not be in alignment with His will, And so he is calling you to release them, to stop striving, to let go, and to trust that the right doors will open at the right time. It is easy to get caught up in the cycle of striving, where we feel like we must constantly be doing more, achieving more, proving more. But God is asking you to pause and breathe. The quiet space you're in right now, the stillness is not absence. It is an invitation to realign. It is in this sacred pause that you can hear God's voice most clearly, not in the noise of your own striving, but in the silence of surrender. Surrender is not just about letting go of the things you think you need. It is also about trusting in God's timing and wisdom. For too long, you may have been fighting against the natural flow of divine timing, pushing ahead when God was calling you to wait. The world has conditioned you to believe that success comes from speed, from being constantly on the move. But the kingdom of God works differently. It is not about the speed at which you go, but about the direction you are headed and the alignment of your heart with God's will. Trusting in God's timing is not always easy. You may have questions about why things are taking longer than expected, or why you haven't yet seen the fruits of your labor. But what if the delay, the quietness, the waiting are all part of God's divine process of preparation? Just because you don't see immediate results doesn't mean God isn't at work. His timing is perfect, and He is never late. He is preparing you for what is coming next, and He is making sure that you are fully equipped to handle the blessings He has in store. The waiting is not punishment. It is part of the process that leads to greater wisdom, greater strength, and greater alignment with your purpose. In this moment of surrender, God is asking you to trust Him even when the path ahead is unclear. He is asking you to believe that He is working behind the scenes, orchestrating every detail of your life for your good and His glory. This is the essence of faith, trusting that even in the midst of uncertainty, God is in control. And when you trust in His timing, you can rest in the assurance that everything will unfold as it should. You don't need to force anything. You simply need to trust and obey. As you surrender, you are realigning yourself with the divine purpose God has set for you. It is so easy to get distracted by the demands of life, by the pressure to achieve, to succeed, to prove your worth. But in surrender, you release all of that. You stop chasing after things that will ultimately leave you empty, and you turn your heart toward God's will for your life. Realignment requires a shift in focus. It means taking your eyes off your own plans and desires and placing them fully on God's purpose for you. It means letting go of the things you thought you needed and trusting that God knows what is best. It is the realization that you don't have to fight for your future. Your future is already in God's hands. Your job is to surrender to His will, to follow His lead, and to trust that He will guide you to where you need to be. This is not always easy. The world tells you to fight for your place, to take what you want, to seize every opportunity, but God calls us to a different rhythm. He calls us to trust, to be still, and to wait on His timing. And in the waiting, you will find that the pressure to perform, to prove yourself, begins to fade. You will find that God's peace begins to fill the spaces that once felt empty, and His guidance will lead you forward in ways that you never could have imagined. In surrendering to God's will, you will experience true peace. Not the kind of peace that comes from achieving success or meeting the expectations of others, but the kind of peace that comes from knowing that you are exactly where you need to be, doing exactly what you need to do, and that God is with you every step of the way. This peace is not fleeting. It is eternal, and it comes when you release control and trust in the one who holds your life in his hands. This is the true essence of faith, trusting that God's plan is far better than anything you could ever devise on your own. When you stop striving and surrender to his will, you open yourself to the fullness of his peace and guidance. And in that peace, you will find strength, clarity, and purpose. As you reflect on this divine pause, understand that it is not the end. It is the beginning of something beautiful. The invitation to surrender is an invitation to step into a new season of peace, purpose, and divine alignment. You are not alone in this journey. God is with you, guiding you, protecting you, and preparing you for all that lies ahead. Now is the time to stop striving, to stop performing, and to trust that he is leading you into the fullness of your divine calling. Surrender and let his peace fill your heart. Now that you have heard the invitation to surrender, now that you've taken the time to pause, reflect, and realign, there is a divine call to action. This is the moment where everything shifts, where your faith meets action, and you step fully into the purpose that God has been preparing for you. The chosen one. This is your moment to affirm your readiness to surrender to God's plan. In the quiet of this pause, God has spoken to you, and now he is asking you to respond. It's time to make a declaration not just in words, but in your heart, your spirit, and your actions. If you are ready to move forward in obedience, if you are ready to trust and follow God's guidance without hesitation, take a moment to comment below with "I hear you, Lord." Let this be your declaration of faith. Let it be your public and personal commitment to stop running, stop striving, and start following. This simple act is not just a comment, it's a covenant. It's your soul's response to God's invitation to surrender. It is your act of obedience, your yes to his will, and it marks the beginning of a new chapter in your life. In this moment, you are stepping out of the old season of striving and into a new season of alignment, peace, and divine purpose. Your words carry power, and by declaring this act of surrender, you are aligning yourself with the path that God has been preparing for you all along. Understand, chosen one, that this pause is not an interruption. It is the beginning of something beautiful. It is not a delay. It is divine preparation. What may have felt like a setback is in fact a sacred realignment. This moment is where God is restoring what was broken, where he is healing what was wounded, and where he is setting you back on course to fulfill your divine purpose. God does not waste any season. Every moment, every delay, every trial has been used by God to shape and refine you. And now in this moment of surrender, you are being restored. You are being made whole again, not just for your own benefit, but for the purpose that God has placed on your life. This restoration is not just about healing the past, it's about preparing you for what lies ahead. As you surrender, you are stepping into alignment with divine timing. You are being positioned to move forward in the fullness of your purpose. Every step you take from this moment forward will be guided by God's wisdom and his love. The restoration that begins now will continue to unfold in your life, bringing peace where there was once turmoil, clarity where there was once confusion, and direction where there was once uncertainty. This is the beginning of the most powerful season of your life, one of divine purpose, peace, and fulfillment. As you move forward from this moment, remember that you are not alone. You are under divine protection. God's hand is upon you, guiding every step, shielding you from harm, and leading you toward the path that He has laid out before you. There will be moments when the road ahead seems unclear, when the journey feels long, but in those moments, know that God is with you. His guidance is unwavering and His love is constant. You may have felt like you've been walking in circles or that your progress has been slow, but now with your act of surrender, God is clearing your path. His protection is over you, and His purpose is at work within you. With each step you take, you will find that the obstacles you once faced begin to dissolve, and you will move forward in divine rhythm, not by your own strength, but by the strength of the Spirit within you. There will be times when you feel the weight of the world pressing down on you. But in those moments, remember that peace does not come from the absence of challenges. It comes from the presence of God. The peace you will carry from this point on is not the fleeting peace of this world. It is the unshakable peace that comes from knowing you are in the center of God's will. You are aligned with the divine purpose for your life, and nothing can disrupt the peace that God has placed within you. As you embrace this new beginning, trust that God is moving you into a new season of clarity, purpose, and fulfillment. You no longer have to strive to fight or to prove yourself. You are already loved, already chosen, and already equipped for everything that lies ahead. Your future is not defined by your past mistakes or setbacks. It is defined by the power of God's grace at work in your life. Take a moment to breathe in the peace that now surrounds you. As you surrender, you will find that the weight of striving, of trying to earn God's favor, begins to lift. And in its place, you will experience the lightness of walking in God's will. This peace will become your foundation, and from that foundation, everything else will flow. Your relationships will heal, your purpose will become clearer, and you will begin to walk in the confidence that comes from knowing you are aligned with the Creator of the universe. This is your moment, chosen one. The moment where you step into the future God has prepared for you. It is not a future of confusion, of striving, or of doubt. It is a future of clarity, of peace, and of divine purpose. And as you move forward, know that you are not moving alone. God is with you. His angels are surrounding you, and His love is protecting you. With each step you take, you are moving closer to the life you were always meant to live. So embrace this new beginning. Embrace the peace, the purpose, and the divine protection that comes with it. Know that as you surrender, you are not losing anything. You are gaining everything you were meant to receive. And in this journey, you will find that the very things you once chased will pale in comparison to the life of purpose and fulfillment that God has waiting for you. The storm may have come, but it has only made you stronger. You are now ready to walk in the light of God's purpose with peace and confidence, knowing that you are exactly where you are meant to be. This is your time, chosen one. Step forward with faith, with trust, and with the peace of God in your heart. The best is yet to come.